I am working as a maid, and where I work as a maid, my madam boss, she is practicing occultic rituals. What I saw terrified me. And there is a woman that used to work at the place where I am working, and I am afraid that if I do not leave this place, I am going to die. I just want to give advice to other people. You should never want to be someone because you do not know where their money is coming from. So please, when you know someone has money, do not wish to be like them without knowing their source of income. Brother Nashi, please post my story whilst you are keeping my identity hidden. I am a 29-year-old woman that is living here in my country, and I am working as a maid for a certain woman. This woman, she has money. This woman, she has no children. She does not have a husband, but she is so wealthy. So wealthy that the other men that stay in the same neighborhood where she is staying, they don't even have the same amount of the money that she has. What surprises me is that she does not care about dating. She lives alone, and other men, because she is so filthy rich, they do not even bother her or to even come chasing after her like the way that they do to me. To get this job that I got, I was referred by another woman who later passed away. And this is what scares me the most, that the person that helped me to get this job, that woman passed away. She gave me the link to this job during the days she was very sick, telling me that my boss is looking for a domestic worker at her house. That is how I secured this job. But now I suspect that this woman was killed because of her work that she was doing here. I think that she saw some things that she was not supposed to see, or maybe she died without knowing that the person she was working for is truly evil. My story goes on like this. In the year 2023, I was abandoned by my husband, who left with his girlfriend and left me with the kids. We were desperate. We did not know what else to do. When your husband has left you alone and he did not want you to work, you struggle to even restart your own life. During those days, since my husband had left me, I managed to get a one room where I was living with the kids. When my husband left me, I was unemployed. So my last option was to return home to my mother's place. And because I could not afford rentals, I returned back to the rural areas. When I was now staying in the rural areas, I really had nowhere else to start. Was watching as my family were even struggling to get something proper to eat. What about my kids? My kids will cry at all the times because of hunger. My parents, they welcomed me. There was no way that they were going to kick me out. And I started living at my parents' homestead, helping my mother and father with gardening so that I could support my children. Whatever that I could do, I had to do it. Next door to us, there was a woman who worked in residential yards as a maid. Having worked that job for many years, I went to visit her while she was sick at her home, since she was our neighbor and someone that I knew very well. The way this woman was sick made it look as if something was licking her, like something that had a poisonous tongue had been licking her skin, because her skin was peeling off as if she had a terrible disease. When I went to see this woman, she said to me, "Look at how sick I am. I do not think that I am going to survive, because my situation is getting worse each and every day. My boss asked me to find someone who is trustworthy, who does not steal. So if you want the job, you can go." Having no other options, I chose to take the job. I was given the contact details of the person who needed a worker, and we started talking. I boarded a taxi was given the address and traveled to the place where I was going to be hired. Upon arriving at this woman's house, you could clearly see that this was real luxury living. She was living that kind of a life which you only see in the movies. Her house looks like a hotel. When I entered inside, even the interior decor, I just said, wow, some people, they are living a really nice lifestyle. Deep down in my heart, I was asking myself, if this woman is single, how does she manage to achieve all of these things whilst the rest of us, we are struggling just to buy basic food? Where I had left, there was no food. I was looking at the interior decor, just imagining that by selling one item in that house, you could even buy food that could last a long time for my parents. When I arrived, I thought that I would undergo an interview, but I was immediately told that I had been hired and I had secured the job. The salary was set at $300 per month. However, I was given one strict rule at the house. You must never, under any circumstances, enter my bedroom. I cleaned it myself. My job was simply to sweep the other rooms and to cook. I work from 7 to 6 p.m., by which time I had to finish cooking all of my tasks. The latest is 9 or half 8. When I started, I assumed the woman had children who were maybe at a private boarding school. But from the day that I arrived, I never saw a single child or any man visiting the house. But you know that when you are working, you are not supposed to enter into someone's life and then you start to ask about their private life. My only focus was my work. Later in 2023, the woman had found me. The job passed away. I remained working there, thinking of nothing, not knowing that the woman that I work for is an evil woman. So I just wanted money, to save money so that I can take care of my children really well, to the point that I completely forgot about my ex-husband. Then on the night, it was on 6 August, I suddenly fell to sleep, something that had never happened to me since I started working at this house. I was just restless and I was hot. I thought that since we are in August, but it was that time when it was really cold. So I decided to step out into the sitting room to get some fresh air before returning to sleep. I walked towards the sitting room. As I was in the passage, just about to enter the sitting room, I saw my madam boss. She was lying on the couch, completely naked. On top of him, there was a snake, and she was busy playing with the snake in a romantic kind of a way. She seemed to be enjoying what was happening to him, showing that this snake, to him, it was like a sexual partner. The way that she was touching herself and touching a snake, I can't explain it. I tried to step back, then she had me. This snake, I saw it entering a private part and it disappeared. I tried to run, but I don't know how she moved so fast. Suddenly, she was standing in front of me. She looked at me and she said, "What do you have seen? You are the only one who has seen it. I don't want you to tell anyone about this story. This matter stays strictly between the two of us." Ever since the day I witnessed that, I have lived in fear, but I have no one else to turn to. When I saw your page for secrets and confessions, I tried calling your phone number, but it is not being answered, which is why I have decided to post my story here on Facebook. I hope you read my story so soon. When you do, notify me so that I can follow the updates. My plea is for your listeners to help me look for a prophet online whilst I wait for my day off, because I feel that this house is not safe at all. This woman said, "What you saw is my personal business. It has nothing to do with you. It won't affect your life at all. Your only job is to work." My phone just overheated. Brother Nashim, I do not know what is happening. Hi, Brother Nashim, I am writing to you again. Please, as you read this, add it to my story because my situation, it seems as if it is getting worse by the minute. As I was typing, sending you my message, something started happening. My phone, I have an iPhone 12 that my madam boss gave to me when I started working here. My phone became hot. It got so hot that it completely froze, switched itself off. I was not standing outside in the sun. I am inside the house right now. This is not an old iPhone. It does not have scratches on the screen. I was given it by my boss, my boss, as if it is brand new. The aircon is turned on. Where I am right now, brother, on the outside, it is hot, but inside it is very cold. This phone, it is so hot, like I am holding a burning stove for no reason at all. When I completed my message, the screen went blank. So I think that my spiritual fight has now started. I am really shaking as I am writing this to you because I'm afraid that maybe something bad is going to happen to me. I hope that I am going to be okay, even though deep down I am really terrified. Looking back, there were so many strange signs that I ignored when I started working for this woman because I was desperate for money. One day, a few months ago, my madam boss, she found me kneeling in my room praying. She did not say amen, like this is what you are supposed to do, right? When you find someone praying, whether in your home or somewhere, if you want to speak to that person, you do not cut off that person mid-prayer, but you wait as a sign of respecting God. That is what I think is supposed to be done, but that is not what my madam boss did. My madam boss, she did not even say amen when she walked into where I was praying. She went outside. I thought that she was returning back to her bedroom. She left my room and then she went straight to the kitchen and she took a large plastic jug. It was full of water. And then, whilst I was still praying, then I started to feel cold on my knees. She had collected water from the fridge, put some ice blocks, and then she started pouring the water where I was kneeling. And then she threw all the water when I opened my eyes all over the floor right in front of me. She looked at me and then she said, "So you mean that you have thought of praying? Do you think that praying is better than leaving my house dirty like this?" Yet she was the one that had poured the water. She said that I was messing up her tiling. She said, "Clean this floor first, then you can pray after you finish." I had already finished sweeping and cleaning the whole house earlier that evening. It was around 9 p.m. at night, my official knocking off time. If I am too busy and she wants me around, she said that you knock off at 8:30 p.m., not after that. She forced me to get back on my knees to get a rag and to mop up the water. She kept on doing this until the middle of the night. She did this because she was angry that I had been praying. When I was praying, I was not even making a lot of noise. I was literally whispering as I was talking and meditating to God. What worries me is that right now, the financial situation in my life, ever since I started working for him, I have never been free. I am always owing her money. Right now, as I speak to you, I owe her $700. My young sister had a terrible accident, broke her leg, and my family desperately needs this money for her hospital bills and medication. I had no choice but to ask my madam boss for a credit, and she gave me that credit. Because of this 700 debt, leaving this job right now, It feels completely impossible. I am trapped by money I cannot pay back. I don't know how to say this to you, but financial wise, I don't think that I will ever be able to survive if I leave this job, because in the village where I come from right now, there is a big mess up. One of my sibling went out, and my sibling had been asked by our neighbor to take care of the gods for that day because they wanted to go to this political meeting. So they said that they were going to give her money. I don't know what she was thinking about. She entered into the house of the neighbor. When she entered there, she then switched on the gas stove, stole the food. She was not given permission to cook. They had prepared food for her and put the food in a bowl, saying that when you are hungry, you eat the food. She started cooking. When she was cooking, then she burnt part of the kitchen unit. And when they came back, they called the police. They wanted her to be arrested, to get her arrested. And then my mom called me. She was crying and she said, "This is what has happened here. Can you help us with money so that they can buy whatever that has been damaged by your sister?" I had to borrow money from my boss, and then I sent that money back home because I did not want her to be arrested. Right now, I am sitting outside in the yard on the grass. I am too scared to stay inside that house alone. I feel like I made a huge mistake by sending my confession to your channel. I feel like maybe a spirit knows that I have spoken out. That is why the phone she bought for me is overheating. She went into town a short while ago. I am sitting here in the yard waiting for her to come back. When I see her car, I am going to run back indoors so that she does not know that I have been speaking with you. Please pray for me. I do not know what is going to happen to me. Please assist me. Yo, dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by our dear sister. Yo, strange things indeed they do happen in this world. Even the way that my son was making noise in the background as I was trying to share this confession with you, just like something was about to force me not to finish this episode. But I just said, let me complete this episode so that you can listen to this confession that we received from our dear sister. It was a translation, hoping that you understood. Thank you very much for watching this video. I'll be back with another episode.